On the night of a harvest moon, I take flight to the farthest tomb. I meditate in the darkest room by the candlelight until the spark exhumes. On the night of a harvest, I see a silhouette hunter hold up a carcass, and he heartbeats a target, and blood trails the ground like red carpet. On the night of a harvest moon.
Right, so yeah, me and PG, we're here in Bournemouth Town Centre. We're going to do a little photo shoot for Rapparel, and there's also a Soviet Union survivors vigil down here.
We're going to go interview some peasants.
Yeah, we thought we'd just park right in the town centre. Randomly, we found a great parking space right here, right next to the parking meter, and the location is... So for anyone that doesn't know, this spot that we're sort of approaching down here is actually where I did the Circo speech back in 2020 in July, where it was first done.
Highly popular.
Yeah, went down a treat, that one. Got noticed by all the right people.
Including King David.
Including King David. Big shout to King David.
This moon so sacred, silk on an ancient loom. Hooded robes in ritual rooms, grey all night from yesterday's moon. On the night of a harvest, farmers emerge and they set up a market. It's all business regardless, where your loot is bought and sold and bartered.
Q-R-A-N-O-X, that's Equinox. Our essence is infinite, not confined.
Look who we just bumped into. It's only Sam Tordal Dynamics.
Easy.
Alright mate, how you doing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think we found it. I think we found the vigil for COVID victims. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, shit, there's like people here that lost their legs from the Britney Spears concert and shit.
All different forms of conditions that are COVID induced by the union directly, and here's obviously sad souls
These
that
people
aren't here
that
anymore.
Perished, victims of the Soviet Union. So right, we found it. Here we are at the vigil for the victims and the survivors of the Soviet Union, and I'm here with Sven. You've been like involved in organising this, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you're doing here, guys.
But basically, what's happened is that over the last 3 years, you know, we've all come to the conclusion that no matter what side of the fence anybody's on, we're basically all in this dilemma together. So the time has come to stop pointing fingers at each other and this, that and the other, and claiming the moral high ground and working out a way forward, because people have been affected in so many ways, you know.
Yeah.
So not just physical effects from, you know, the medical procedure, let's say, but also the mental health issues that, you know, I suffered over the last 3 years. I've suffered terribly.
Everyone
has.
Yeah, we've all suffered. We've all been targeted.
You know, not just our health, but also our just basic freedoms, our movements. The way our lives have been infringed upon, it's got to stop. And the only way that's going to stop is if people are all on board with the fact that we've got an issue that we have to solve and work out together. Yep. So that's why we've got this vigil here, for people to just have a chat and just get it off their chest if they want to. And remember those of us, and that will be everybody, who knows someone who's suffered.
Absolutely,
or, you know,
100%.
someone who's really in pain right now.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's what we're doing it for. It's a very selfless act for everybody. It's a community initiative.
Yeah, this I recognise some faces from like Standing Park as well.
Yeah,
there's a bit of overlap here.
There's a bit of overlap here. There's some people from Standing Park, some people from the old demos that we used to do as well, of course, and the other. It's not the first vigil either. We did one at the hospital a couple of years ago, and we did one here a year and a half ago as well. So we've always had pretty good turnouts. But yeah, it overlaps. But it affects everyone. That's why we have a cross section of the community doing it. You know, people with kids, the elderly, whatever. So it affects us all.
People are still perishing on a daily basis.
They are. They're still perishing.
Lance, get this banner in here. Get this banner on through.
So yeah, crimes against humanity.
This is just a little selection of the deaths. Just a selection of them. We didn't even really touch the surface. You know, we could have put thousands here.
So yeah, you could have plastered the whole garden.
Could have plastered the whole gardens, mate, and the trees.
Are these local people from Bournemouth?
It's just all sorts.
From all over.
From all over. Just to give you a cry. And not everyone has died. Some people have had amputations.
Yeah, we saw up there that there was some, different injuries.
Yeah, and just the splits in families alone, people falling out. There's all sorts of bad stuff that comes from all of this.
Yeah.
You know, it really does. So yeah, that's what we're trying to achieve, and I'm going to go live in a bit on Facebook and live stream it when.
Well,
when
mate, I personally think this is great work. A Rise Above. We want to see a whole spectrum of people taking people to account, taking action, and obviously remembering what has happened and not forgetting about it. Sven, I think you're doing great work, mate.
Nice
Thank you so much,
Cheers,
man.
Thank
Respect.
you
Rise Above.
Cheers, man.
Big up, man.
Yeah, you too, man. Great to see you.
So yeah, the COVID survivors vigil. A few upset people walking past saying their nan died of COVID. That's always going to happen.
A few people not so happy about it.
A few disgruntled peasants. What are you going to do? But like,
there's people taking pictures of the deceased from the COVID union. There's people stopping and chatting. They've got big banners out on the lawns there. I mean,
they've literally got pictures of people that perished at the hands of Britney Spears, mate.
And it's good because this is the springtime when the sun's just come out, and these people, are still putting in the effort to come down here.
Well, it shows commitment.
The COVID union.
It shows commitment. I think it's time for me and PG to go and get a little liquid lunch before we do this Raphael photo shoot. But yeah, very glad we come down to check out the vigil. Big up Sven, everyone that's doing Stand in the Park, and all of these different efforts and different movements that are keeping the memory alive of what happened. Right, so me and PG, we went to the vigil. We've taken a few shots for the Raphael photo shoot, and we thought we'll get
it's hot, man. We need a drink.
Yeah, we got a drink and we got some lunch. We ordered some like Asian tapas. How much did it cost?
I've got the photo here.
We've got the photo. We'll put it up on the screen now, obviously. I'll show you the full-size photo we've got here.
£33.75.
Classic. Me and PG are talking about having long hair, right?
Or golden locks.
The thing is, like, phonically challenged men, they take the piss out of guys like us with long hair. But what they fail to, oh, you're a girl, you're soft. But what they fail to remember is historically, the hardest bastards in history had long hair. Hercules. When I let my hair down, I've got that massive curly one. That's what Hercules looked like, bro. Trust me.
All the Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings, all the men.
All the Vikings. The hardest motherfuckers. The Scottish.
Yeah, the bearded rapers and pillagers.
Yeah, the hardest motherfuckers.
Those guys that came in boats with beards that came and fucked shit up, they all had long hair.
Or were they just from the Little Hat community? That's one for Wim. Shout out to Wim.
Yeah, big up the vag. Let's just recapitulate a moment.
I'm a freelance quantum gardener with a homemade combine harvester. So when I see your crops wilting, I got the organic rod that will harden them. This realm rotates in cycles, encounter rotational Solomon spirals. Masons build towers like Eiffel and vortex points to drain your vital. Simulacrums appear cyclical, toroidal electro spiritual. The holosphere projects physical, the manifestational synergy's mythical. We got problems, parasitical inside this Taurus field is critical. Henceforth mankind is pitiful. Rise and shine, please explain.
How you doing, mate?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good evening, sir.
Thank you very much for calling in. This is the first time you've called us, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it is.
Welcome to Rise Above. Please don't say the C word or the V word. Do you know what they are?
I think I do.
But you can say fuck or bugger.
Yeah.
Yeah. What those two?
I didn't realise you had to say that before calling.
Yeah, got a wine recommendation for Chris.
Go for it.
All right.
It's called the Governor, and it's from
Mate, forget it, Majestic.
It's probably out there. Majestic,
From Majestic. Mate, forget about it. It's my favourite. I actually occasionally treat myself when it's on special offer, and I get myself 12 bottles at a time.
Nice.
Fucking lovely.
They're gone in a night.
No, mate, honestly, I'm not even joking. I every now and again I treat myself and get a full 12 bottles of Governor from Majestic Wines.
He just puts a straw in them. Just
thank you anyway.
A straw.
No, just tip all the bath in one go.
Well, it was already a successful recommendation.
Tip all the bath in one go, just go under. I don't even wear goggles, so it seeps into my eyeballs.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll try it. Not method.
Yeah, that's why. That's when he's got his dragon dildo.
Yeah, I'm a dragon dildo.
Good night. Sounds like a good night in.
Literally.
So, Jamie, how long have you been watching Rise Above for?
I kind of came across you probably in about 2020, and kind of before that, I saw some strange looking fella on a bench making a speech about Serco, and then I started watching Rise Above. Probably, I think I found you through Sheep Farm actually, and then I kind of put two and two together. I thought, oh yeah, kind of talking about a Serco. I'm sure I've heard somebody doing a Serco speech. So then I searched for it online. Turns out it was you, Lance.
It certainly was, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the reason, kind of on the subject of the Britain is one thing. In my day job, I'm not sure if I can't remember if we've chatted about what I do like for a living, but I work with for a big corporation, a big law firm, and we specialise in probate work. Which, if you don't know what probate work is, or if your listeners don't know what probate work is, it's essentially when somebody passes away with assets. There's a certain legal process you have to go through to distribute them assets, normally as per a will. And I've just noticed recently when I've been talking to people, it's crazy busy at the moment. It would never normally be this busy at this time of year. They're expecting it to be really quiet, and all the figures they produce are sort of like 20 years. Yeah, weird, isn't it? It's a weird coincidence, and then it's just not showing any signs of calming down at all. And everybody's like, oh, wow, we don't know what it is. We've got absolutely no idea what it is. But I've noticed a few clients, a few families who I speak to, because I quite often speak to like sons or daughters or, close relatives who are having to sort all this stuff out and pick all the pieces up when they've, found the sort of 45-year-old brother or sister or son or mum or dad, the following day after going to bed with a bit of a headache, not alive.
Wow.
One of the things that I've had, last sort of 6 months, I've not really heard it very much. Apart from this last sort of 3 months, I've kind of heard a few people say, well, I think we know what it is, this. And I think a few people are kind of maybe noticing kind of what we kind of maybe predicted quite a while ago, and a lot of people that kind of watch us or watch you guys and listen to this kind of thing I've known for quite some time.
The penny might be dropping.
It feels that way, yeah, and it feels like your normal people. The people who would have been clapping at the sky a couple of years ago would never have thought of this kind of thing going on. But it's kind of hitting people that are really close to them.
Because we've got to remember, Jamie, like not everyone was like flying an NHS flag. Not everyone was shouting at their neighbours not to be 2 meters apart or whatever. A lot of people were just sort of going along with it because they couldn't be asked.
They just didn't want to hassle.
They just didn't want to hassle. The path of least resistance, etc., etc. And the thing is, like, those are the people that, because they're not staunch Coviets or Proviets or whatever you want to call them, or total programmed NPCs, they just couldn't be bothered to go along with it. But when like someone close to them dies, those are the people that are going to be activated.
I've got a mate, Lance, who works in on the other side of what you call it. We're talking about. He works in funeral homes and he does the embalming, and he said they're pulling strange things out of.
Like John Looney was saying.
John Looney, yeah. But
what's the movie? Died suddenly.
Fried
yeah.
suddenly.
Stu Peters, isn't it? Yeah. We've just been fact checked by the BBC as well, hasn't it?
There's a little bit nature thing sometimes. Are they wanting people to kick off? Do you think? Do you think that's the idea? Because
don't forget, if there's you've got your BLM riots, that's one thing. But you think if the whole entire country riots, then that's straight to martial law.
100%, yeah.
They'd fucking love that shit.
I've got a question for Jamie. Jamie, you say you're working in probate, right? Jamie, you're working in probate. Yeah. So normally, I mean, I guess the most of the people that you're dealing with are dying of natural causes when they're old, predominantly in a normal time, right? So they would usually have their will sorted out. Are you seeing more people that are obviously dying or getting fried suddenly that haven't got wills? So that's actually changing your workload.
Yeah, it is more work, and yeah, because traditionally, the nearer you get to the point of sort of like naturally passing away, which generally tends to be, or traditionally would have been, like the elderly, then the elderly tend to think about it a bit more. But when you're in, you sort of like, I mean, in similar sort of age to you guys, I'm in my like sort of late 40s, and if I wasn't in the industry, I wouldn't be thinking about putting a will together. But so yeah, it does create more work. Because naturally people who are younger tend not to have those kind of things in place because they don't think for a second that they're going to go to bed one night and not wake up in the morning in the mid-40s or early 50s.
Jamie, can I ask you, how do your colleagues feel about it? Do they feel the same as you about all this? Can they see what's going on?
Well, I've spoken to a few of them, and I work remotely. I just work from home. I used to live in London. I now live in Herefordshire, and so it's all remote. So we speak on like Teams and Skype and that kind of stuff normally. And a few people have said to me this, these sort of 40 and 50-year-olds and sometimes in 30-year-olds that we kind of coming across. It's not normal for people to just go to bed and then just not wake up in the morning. Just natural causes, like it, just coincidental. And so yeah, a few people are, and then one of the other guys who started at the same time as me said, "Do you think it's the vaccine?" I went,
"Careful with the V word there. Careful."
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, that's
smash all the buttons.
Yeah, sorry about that, lads.
It's all right. The next one, you've got to put 10 crypto shekels in the swear jar.
10 digital crypto shekels.
And the Yorkshire dead arm.
One of my mates did actually say, do you think it's the Brittany? And, so, well, you got to ask yourself the question. This ain't normal, is it? And, what's been happening recently that we've never really done before. And it's glaringly obvious to a lot of us, isn't it?
100%.
But I think for the people that have been through who subscribe to the full Britney Spears tour, it's so traumatic.
Full Britney Spears tour. When you said that, it's like you're trying to sell it to me.
Yeah. Well, when you're basically a groupie following Britney around,
and you got your backstage pass and everything.
Mate, you're the VIP motherfucker. Yeah. Like I think it's too traumatic for that. Even if they even had one inkling in their mind that the two might be connected, that it would be so traumatic for them to think that shit, I've just been like attempted genocide. Like my heart could basically explode at any second.
Too much to take on, but too much to take on hard all in one go.
I met somebody tonight. Me and my wife met somebody at this football presentation night, and she was talking to us, and we were talking about hay fever. And she says, "What do you use?" Because her young gets hay fever. Anyway, I said, "Well, we use a lot of vitamin C. I got into my vitamin C spiel and all this, and Q-Serotin and all sorts of other stuff."
Was she walking backwards?
No, she didn't. No. She said, "Oh, yeah, we didn't have any of the Britneys."
All right.
So she got talking about this.
So they are aware.
People are aware. Yeah. I'm dead again. I've stopped all my kids having any sort of arm spears years ago. And all. Yeah. And so.
All right. I'd love to meet someone like that.
I'm meeting more people like this now. People are coming out of the woodwork who wouldn't have normally.
The thing is, Dom,
towards people like
people
us.
might be coming out the woodwork, right? The people in the National Holocaust Service who are coming out the woodwork, they're still in their fucking job after they know what's going on. They're still taking a lot of left. I mean, like, come on, guys, this is the worst type of person.
I think as well, a lot of them people, having worked with nurses in our clinic, a lot of them, they're seeing their friends topple over and, like James was saying, wake up or go for a shower and not come out, or we had a story one of the nurses were in tears when I got there, two of the nurses, and said what's happened. Said one of his friends who we were nurse with, that she's at the NHS, had all the first two spears and the 3 dart finish and all the rooster boosters to go with it.
Trip they passed around.
They found her in a shower.
Program of the concert on it.
Mate, I think the triple dart finish is like last year's news. Like people are on like their 5th and 6th.
Right, listen to this.
8th, mate. The 8th rooster.
One of my own family members, Dom, had a another like 5th or 6th subscription to the Britney Spears tour, as well as a flu Britney on the same in the same sitting.
Well, listen, this one I'll top that Silver Surfer card with a whatever a flat card.
We're not playing top trumps here. Who can subscribe to the most genocide?
Who did beat the Silver Surfer? Who did beat the Silver Surfer?
My brother-in-law, right, who a love dealer. My brother-in-law, he rang the doctors up after having his double tap, and he was that worried
double click.
Yeah, double click. Yeah, he was that worried about it. He rang the doctor up and asked if there were any spare ones going.
Wow.
Let's
have a backup.
So I was on the phone to one of these energy guys at work because our usual energy dealer can't get any good prices now. So all these people that constantly phone you up, I entertain one of them, and this young guy's on the phone to me, and he starts talking about he's got a podcast. Oh, and I was like, right, what's your podcast about? And he said, well, I'm a golfer and my friend's a rapper, and we're teaching each other. He's teaching him golf and he's teaching him to rap, and it's called like On Par or something. I said, that's a cool idea for a podcast. I said, I've got a podcast too. He said, what's it about? I said, well,
where do we start?
But he goes, anyway, I gave him the gist of it. He goes, do you know what? He goes, I went to one Britney Spears concert, right? And he goes, no word of a lie, mate. Ever since, he goes, I've constantly been ill. He goes, I've had 8 ear infections. He goes, I'm always to the doctors with something wrong with me. He goes, I proper regret. He goes, and my family are trying to get me to get another one. I was like, mate, we gonna do it? He's like, I don't know. I was like, don't do it. I said, like, here, watch your eyes above. Anyway, big shout out to those guys. I think they're watching.
Jamie on the line.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Jamie, you still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
I am, yeah. I'm just listening away.
If you walk to the hockey and have 3 darts, you know,
180.
Yeah, I think Anti-Covid should do a meme of that Jockey Wilson hockey thing. Anyway,
another experience, like a family experience, a close family member of mine has got a little bit of dementia, and he knackered his spine up. Ended up in hospital, so they had him on the dementia ward, and only a couple of weeks ago they came round, I think, with the 7th or 8th dart, just giving him to people.
8th?
Yeah, I think it's 7th or 8th he's had, and
we're nearly into double digits,
nearly into double figures, yeah.
Nearly at the 9 dart finish.
They're just bringing it round people with like dementia who don't really know or have the capacity to make decisions for themselves. They're just like, just stabbing them.
I was just thinking, like, if you had dementia, right, and you were also unwell in other ways, so you're in and out of hospital quite often.
Which he is.
You might have already had 6 darts from the doctor every time he sent you a letter, because you obviously respond to it, go, okay, you queue up in the cold to get your dart. But then you go to hospital and they just bring them round on a little platter. Would you like another one?
No.
For your own,
like a tray of shots in the nightclub.
Yeah.
No, they've got a bandito things on with just shots in it instead of bullets. They just fucking
the shot girls, yeah.
Or
Fatima Whitbread just throwing them from the other side of the room.
But look how normal it is, like, in the National Holocaust Service now. Like, you just get handed them out like it's a fucking
Tessa Sanderson and Fatima Whitbread just like, what?
Yeah. You can have the Fatima Whitbread, you can have the shot glass one on a tray, or you can have the bandito one where they used to the shots.
The mad thing is, in previous Holocausts, before you had the National Holocaust Service, they used to like tie people down in concentration camps and test darts out.
They don't need to do that now.
No,
the peasants just do it to themselves.
Yeah. So
the herd culls itself.
People queued up.
But it's much more. It's easier on the dark occultists. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's less time, less money. You just have to put out some mind control, and then they just.
You have to
spend
a lot of money on mind control.
Don't forget,
like billions and billions, like 20, 30, 40 years.
Don't forget, cigarettes were subscribed by the doctor at one stage. Come on now, like this,
Yeah, that's
my doctor only smokes Camels.
Yeah, exactly. It's better for your lungs, Tom.
Yeah,
it's better for your lungs, mate. Yeah, smoke Camels, mate. Smoke this brand.
I told you when I complained to my doctor that I felt like everyone was pushing the Britney Spears on me, and I was feeling stressed because I wanted it to be.
I remember you saying
I wanted it to be on record. Right?
It was taking a toll on your mental health.
Well, it was because it was like everyone was telling me that my career was going to be over if I didn't go and see Britney Spears.
You physically lost bookings.
Yeah, well, I had at that point, and I was thinking, I'll never be able to fly again. Obviously, I wasn't thinking this, but this is what I was saying to him. And he basically gave me this box, and I thought, it looked like, I thought it was midazolam. It said on it, it's metrazapine. which is probably worse than midazolam. And it's like a really strong antipsychotic.
It's just trying to dose you up.
Well, they read the pamphlet, and like one of the side effects is depression and suicidal thoughts.
Excellent. Sounds great.
What, to get you away from depression and suicidal thoughts?
So you're already like got a toll on your mental health.
So then, because Soviet Union was on my back, and like I was feeling a bit stressed, so he gives me like metrazapine.
Don't forget, Health Chancellor Gates will make it so that there's always a solution for your problems. So there you go. It's already
final solution.
If you go to the doctor because you're stressed about the Soviet Union, they'll just give you one of their tablets.
It came with an encyclopedia of side effects.
Yeah, there you go.
Obviously, I didn't take any of it. I think the box is still up there. I just kept it for posterity.
Yeah, it's how can anyway? Yeah.
Well, we know the answers to the questions. When we ask these rhetorical questions, Don, we know. Why do they do it? How can they do it? It's like, yes, but it's worse.
I think it's brilliant that people are falling for it. It's just fair play. A lot of these,
I was talking to a guy the other day buy some of our IV products, vitamin IVs and stuff from him, and he's a doctor of what was it? Anyways, he runs he used to run a lab for the NHS, and he said, I would never work with another surgeon ever again, never. He said, because they're on, and I asked the nurses this, they're on. Somebody did some psychology on the surgeons, and they've got the same mentality as a psychopath.
Yeah, because they literally hold life and death in
but
their hands.
let's not forget
exactly. They get off on it.
Let's not forget that one of the top attracting professions to psychopaths is surgery. Same as like police and military. There's like people with
like paedophiles always become children's entertainers, scout leaders, teachers.
Total control. Total control.
Well, you choose a vocation that facilitates your alter ego lifestyle, I guess. At the end,
what do they say? Don't they? They say find a job where you can get paid for doing what you enjoy. So there you go.
Then you never work a day in your life.
Never work again. Yeah.
Find a job that you love, and you never work a day in your life.
If you enjoy cutting people's limbs off and fucking digging around in people's stomachs and other parts of their body, like go and be a surgeon.
If you enjoy changing a man to a woman.
Yeah, there you go.
In the first Saw film, the really creepy guy that was paying there to go and cut the guy open and drill holes in his kneecaps, he revealed that he always wanted to become a surgeon, but his hands were too shaky.
In Saw?
Yeah, the first Saw movie.
Was it? I can't remember.
Can you remember wasn't there a program on Sky that used an autistic guy as a surgeon? It was like one of those programs about 5-6 years ago where they were pushing.
Sorry, Matt, go on.
I think it was The Good Doctor, wasn't it?
That's the one. And I never watched it. It just freaks me out, though. When you think about, they were trying to push this, like this guy as the and also that other one as well with that other doctor who were nuts.
Hannibal Lecter?
Shipman?
Not him. I'll think about it. Go on.
Jamie, anyway. Are there any sorry, you can't...
But what I'm trying to say is, are some of these doctors now, if you think of the age groups, if 1 in 36 kids are autistic, for argument's sake, now, are some of these doctors, these surgeons now, is that what they were telling us? Are they partly autistic or got behavioural issues? Or
right.
You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, because if you think about it, they're not being screened for it like maybe people in law enforcement are in some countries, and you do those psychometric tests or whatever.
But them psychometric tests are they... They're screening for...
Mate, okay, right, listen to this, right, okay. So there's an article online, okay, called Confessions of a Bastard Cop. Right, I encourage everyone to go and read that. That's straight from the horse's mouth, yeah, from an ex-police officer who's like got out of the force. And he goes into all the nasty shit they used to do, but he talks specifically about the training, okay? So you could go into the police force thinking you're going to help everyone, like help old ladies cross the road, catch bank robbers, all that kind of shit. And what they do, right, they literally, to segregate you from society, they sit you down and make you watch videos of policemen being killed and policewomen being killed on duty by civilians over and over and over again. This is a cult technique to indoctrinate someone and to put them in a state of trauma. But that then segregates them from society. So you can go into a police force, completely legitimate, like not a psychopath, and they fucking turn you into a secondary psychopath, which is, pretty much just as bad.
Same as a prison can take someone that's just committed a random offence and got convicted into a proper habitual criminal.
I hate to think what they do to you in like special black ops, teams and shit like that, where you're at the highest level of fuckery.
Well, Barry Trower told a story where the American American army rung him up about some special ops that went a bit gaga there. They'd been out on an op, and they had this new technology on, and they'd gone home, and there were like 4 of them, and they'd gone home and committed acts of violence. I think one of them killed the family and stuff like this. Anyway, when it was like the Pentagon run Barry Trower. I don't know if you've heard of Barry Trower, the guy that talks about all of
I think so,
the
yeah.
EMFs and stuff like that. Yeah,
I'm not sure,
he was an ex. Well, he was he worked in the Navy as a microwave expert.
Oh, so he knows.
He knows.
Yeah.
And he's in his 80s now. But he told a story that they asked him what frequencies would turn someone to this type of violence. And he told them the frequency. He said, "I'm not going to repeat it." He says, "because I don't want to be responsible." And he says, if it was in this frequency, so it was their microphone and headgear they were using, and they had it on for 24 hours. That could turn them to violence.
To make you literally lose your mind.
Yeah, they had it on for 48 hours.
Wow. What is it, Lance, in your Who Invited the Military here, June? What is it, the lyric you say, when you list their weapons? There's the ray. The
50k cryo dispersal energy ray.
Yeah, that. Yeah. So you think they can target individuals with rays, such as what you're talking about? They might not possess that...
Well, it comes back to the
specific technology as
Cuban
a
embassy,
police officer, but
Cuban embassy
is out there.
Yeah, the Cuban embassy, they were doing it, and in the Cold War, the Russians were doing it to the American embassy in West Berlin. They were beaming it into one. There were one window showing, and the Americans couldn't work out why everyone were going down with leukemia. So they kept replacing.
Fried by.
They were getting fried by. It was a listening device. They were using it to listen in on the conversations from the American embassy, but they couldn't work out where it was coming from and what it was. And they finally worked it out, but they actually kept replacing people. So when one of the staff died who was sat at whatever the chair, they replaced them so they could find out where it was coming from.
Wow!
There you go. Look, expendable. Order followers, you're all expendable.
Fully expendable.
It makes me think, Dom, right? You know, everyone's walking around with these fucking earbuds now, like headphones without any. What the fuck is going on between those two things going directly through your brain?
It's Bluetooth technology, radiation beaming straight to your ear.
You know, what's that doing to you?
Yeah. Well, that's
a very innovative way for the dark occultists to come up with the herd culling
100%.
themselves.
Yeah.
Just beam some shit directly between your ears through your brain.
All these things run on hertz, don't they, as well?
Yeah. But everyone's walking around with them. Do you know what I mean? They're the next trendy thing. Everyone's got them.
Yeah. Oh, they are. You know, it's how do you explain that to a youngster though? Like when I remember mobile phones came out, and our dad was saying, "Oh, you don't want one of them things. Shut up, you silly old git." You know what I mean? You don't know what you're talking about.
Mate, it says on the box of an iPhone when you buy it, it says, "Do not hold closer than 6 inches to your head." It's a fucking telephone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just get away from your body.
So,
I don't think it's
but I mean, again, most people have that in their pocket, right near their genitalia.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's like.
Well, I mean,
wait for it to vibrate.
I mean, you don't have to put two and two together. Britney's new technology just goes hand in glove. CERN gets turned on. Blah blah blah.
Don't forget, they don't want to make everyone drop dead immediately because they're using us all as batteries for their machine. But they don't want us to live like, you know, they don't want to have to pay any pensions or stuff like that.
Well, there's going to be a new control frequency in the peasant farm, and any peasants that can't survive the transition into that frequency won't be living in the new farm. That's as simple as that.
Do you think that the Divock 91 pandemic was when people were dropping dead of something? Do you think that's something to do with some frequency change?
Wireless pentagram.
Wireless pentagram.
I honestly think that it's probably.
And now the people that are still here have like their bodies have adjusted to it. I'm just throwing out there. It's not one necessarily.
Can you remember that video I played a year ago, but probably about a year ago on here, when we did the Young Global Leaders, and we had that guy who was called Professor Giordano, and he basically told you, "I'll infect you. Everyone else will think they're going to catch it," and so what he's talking about is infecting the mind. He talks about the new battlefront being the brain, and I ask everybody to listen to what he's saying there. He's part of DARPA. Yeah, he's part of DARPA. He basically told you what went on in 2020 in 2016.
Yeah,
and so was there something happening? Yes, but what is we had a conversation with a guest on our show the other day. What is a virus? Yeah.
Well, again, we need to be very careful here.
No, I'm not going down that road.
For MM,
yeah, I'm not going down that road. What I'm trying to say is, in the Twilight language that gets spoken about, that could mean all sorts of different things.
Yeah, absolutely.
To us, it means something we've been programmed to think it means, but in reality, it could be something totally different.
I mean, I'm no surgeon or like medical personnel of any kind. However, I mean, I've read plenty of articles where like renowned medical professionals have said that what we're talking about isn't what we've been conditioned to think, and it's your body releasing toxins.
Careful.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to be very careful.
Look at what's been sprayed in the skies. How easy would it be? I mean, Operation Cauldron was run from 1944 during World War II up to 1989. They had about, I think, there were 800 missions just sprayed.
I mean, man, they've been doing this shit for years.
Length and breadth of Britain with zinc, cadmium, and Bacillus globigii, which is anthrax. Now, everything, it's not like, and they're doing the same in America as well. The large area particle trials, they were called, and they found out that zinc cadmium causes asthma, lung cancer.
What a great combo! You've got heavy metals and anthrax.
Exactly.
Great.
They flooded the London Underground with all these things as well, and they found it went 10 miles down the underground. Then they were monitoring who was off work and what they were off work. This was in the 60s. This were in London.
Yeah.
They were going through America with suitcases down by you guys, actually. In Poole.
Yeah, they sprayed it over whole villages down here.
Sprayed it up, yeah.
Everyone got cancer
from a navy ship.
Cheers, bro.
From a navy ship, they were spraying it. It went in a 20-mile radius or hundreds of miles radius.
Yeah, because down here in the southwest, we've got loads and loads of military bases, mainly to do with the Marines. We've got the tanks down here at Bovington. Because there's lots of like wetlands in here for training, so obviously there's lots of human testing that goes on down here as well.
Unknown human testing.
Yeah, that's why
they're doing that round Lyme Regis, I think, at one point, spraying it out into the sea.
Yeah, it was Lyme Regis, yeah.
Yeah, which is where my vlog was from last week. It was near to Lyme Regis, and if you drive from where I am here to Lyme Regis, you go past, Bovington Tank Range, where they obviously test out ballistics and stuff like that. You go past a couple of different kinetic installations, which is the military technology wing of
we spoke about kinetic before, haven't we?
Yeah, so like because there's a lot of countryside and sort of like
no man's land
down here, so yeah right on rise above HQ's doorstep, funnily enough.
It's great for training the order followers.
Yeah
Well,
we're going all night, Cal. We're just going to be careful what we say on here.
Yeah, we don't want any Marshall Mathers, any M&Ms.
No.
Speaking of the farmer class, look at this.
Do you remember us talking about this crew?
I thought you talked about this lot.
They funded one of the prizes. Let me think what prize it was now. They funded one of the prizes that Schwab launched the Young Global Leaders with.
Right, so these are one of the families behind the frontmen like Gates and Schwab, for sure.
Ancient families, these Sacklers.
So the billionaire Sackler family, the owners of Purdue Pharma, they're farmers, are given immunity from civil lawsuits for opioid victims in the exchange for $6 billion to fund and treat addiction. So they've basically bankrolled all of the synthetic opioids like oxycodone in the West, fentanyl in the East through the Chinese, which have caused more death.
Have you heard how they're funding this?
All the other drugs put together.
Have you heard how they're funding it?
Go on.
Well. So to do this, they've had to keep the business has been allowed to keep going because the drugs are too important that they give to people who really need them in pain. So they're paying it out of the profits.
Wow.
This is what we're agreed. So they're not paying it out of their pockets.
So
paying it out of the profits.
Oh no, this is just a business model.
Yeah, so it's actually the money from all of the tax money that's paid for those or subsidise those drugs, or the people that have bought them.
If a peasant won't cull themselves, they'll pay for the peasants who will cull themselves.
But do you know what's a double Schwabery in this game? Right, I guarantee that $6 billion to fund and treat addiction. Do you know what they're going to spend it on? they'll spend it on their super synthetic opioid substitutes, things like methadone and stuff like that, which will get people that are coming off their first level of addiction with their super
They'll
strong.
just take it down a tier.
Yeah, but
that'll give you a whole
many times
different
that
load of
addiction
problems
is
later on
at
in
least
life.
as worse.
Yeah.
There's another one as well.
Well, don't forget, like Mark Passio, he talks about this. So, for any of our listeners that don't know, Mark Passio, he used to be working in the tech industry, and he used to go to some of the top universities and medical facilities, and he's got a first-hand account. He was working in a cancer research facility in a top university, and one of the people there, one of the workers, said, "I think I've had a breakthrough," and they got immediately penalised for trying to find an actual cure. And they said, if you do that again, we're going to fucking lose our funding, and you're going to lose your job immediately. So that's how it really works. They don't want to actually help anyone. They just want to,
Wow, 340 people tuned in. Big shout out to everyone tuned in. This is Rise Above. I meant to press the Rise Above button.
That was very lo-fi.
But also, what that case does there, that draws a line now. Nobody now can sue them now that they know it's harmful. Just like they did with the cigarettes. The cigarettes, once that lawsuit went, and the talcum powder one, once they got the lawsuit, nobody else can sue them. They draw a line under it.
Yeah, because the legal precedent has been set.
Do you remember the DDT? They used to spray the kids with the DDT.
Yeah. So good you can eat it.
That sounds like a little bar there. At the BBC, they spray kids with DDT.
Yeah, I'm sure they did, mate.
Yeah.
We've still got Jamie, our caller, on the line. Did you have anything else on your list that you wanted to bring to the table?
No. Thanks ever so much for
I'm not booting you out. You're welcome to stick with us, mate. I'm just
no one else fucking wants to talk to us today.
No, exactly. It's been our sole caller tonight. Big shout out to Jamie.
No, I'll stay. Yeah, I'm happy to stay on. That's cool. It's really interesting, all this stuff. I'm just say to Dom and Chris, I'm really enjoying the Huxley stuff that you're putting out. It's really interesting stuff. The first one I listened to, your first deep dive, was the first one I came across was the Bojo one, which was and the Tony B. Lyle one, which was really, really interesting. Them two, very dark.
Yeah. Very dark. Yeah.
Sheep Farm are always well known for going to the absolute bottom of the rabbit hole when it comes to
that's like why
parasites.
Why we like to work with these guys so much, because our show is very fast paced and it's very abstract sometimes, and we're talking about all of these topics, and sometimes we dance over them very, very quickly without giving any of the context, any of the detail, and any of the sort of the meat on the bone. And for some of our listeners that might be new, it might be a little bit, oh, wait a minute, what does it actually mean there? This is where we love to chat with Dom and Chris. So
it's a kind of networking connection as well, isn't it? So we've got Dom and Chris on. Dom and Chris got some fabulous presentations online, in depth. I mean,
but when we talk about these characters, these guys can come out with okay, so here's the day when this happened, and the links between these companies, because we take all this for granted because we've been looking at it for so long. But to have the wealth of information from Sheep Farm as well, to draw on that level of detail, I think is very important, because we're gisters. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We rarely draw for the facts and figures that much anymore, because of the the nature of the show, and we're trying to be careful with the censorship and stuff like that.
You need every colour in the rainbow.
No, exactly.
Don't mention that, Chris.
It's got to be the full spectrum, and no one entity or group can do that. So that's why I think it's very important that we keep these collaborations going, because we are all fulfilling different roles in this. We're going with the more sort of entertainment show side, Friday night chat show.
But it's great to talk. We still talk about the occult. We still talk about everything.
I think what you guys do and we do, we try and look. I suppose although I'm a bit long in the tooth now, but I suppose we're new kids on the blocking, as opposed to being out there doing podcasts, in comparison to Richard Dior, Mark Devlin, people like that type of thing. So we've had to bring something different. We've had to bring something different to it, haven't we? You guys have brought your elements to it, the music side of it as well, and we've brought our side to it as well, and I think we've taken it because it's very dark. we've had to lighten it up a little bit, like you guys have.
Well, that's why
And
we
you've
like
got
to
your own
add
special
some
flavour
satire
with
to
that.
the show as well. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Right from the off, we've always tried.
But we
to
both do that in different ways, and that's
Exactly.
really nice because you've got your very nice sort of like dry, sort of like tongue-in-cheek style sometimes, the way you address certain topics with these ludicrously perverse characters, and you know, and the way that that it goes back generationally so many times. You can prove the same thing over and over again with your research, which I think is brilliant. So shall we move on to a bit of global climate warming change?
Got me Schwabi and cat here, Lance.
That's looking very. What is the guy in Inspector Gadget called that has the cat? Is it a Mancoon? No. What's the villain called that strokes the cat?
The Claw?
The Claw. Is it the Claw?
I can't remember.
But it's very it's just that metal hand stroking the cat, isn't it?
330 peasants currently tuned in.
We can't get off that number. It's like 330 or 333. Very good.
What do you expect at this point?
No, it's good. So if you are enjoying what you see,
by the way, Lorraine.
please don't forget to subscribe to Rise Above. It does help to come up in your feed if you have subscribed.
And don't forget to check out the Nova Flip expose.
Yeah, don't forget to type in Nova Flip into YouTube as well, see what you get. Right, global climbing warming change.
Global climbing warming.
Did I say climbing warble
Global
change?
climate warming change.
Global climate warming change. 200,000 cows must be cold to hit climate targets. I think this is...
this was Shakti.
Yeah, this is from Shakti.
Yeah.
This is the story which she put
Have we lost Dom? Where's Dom?
Dom's just gone
gone
to do some tap dancing or something. We have... basically she made a little video of this, and it's the one that's got like 1.4 million views.
That's right, yeah, I've seen it on her social media.
Yeah.
Because I commented when she put this up, I was like, this is nothing but blood let into the earth.
Because obviously, we're in the UK, or in England rather, we are in the privileged position of not having really a famine in known or rememberable history. Irish people aren't in that position. They do have a proper famine in their sort of like close genetic memory, right?
Do you remember the Alan Partridge sketch?
Oh my God, I watched that the other day.
Fucking cringe, right?
Why didn't they just be less fussy? Yeah, I watched that episode too. Me and the Empress were binging on Alan Partridge the other week. It's last week actually. So 200,000 cows cold in Ireland.
People are insane, aren't they? They're insane. What are they talking about?
You think the amount of blood let to the earth, 200,000 cow?
We in fact,
just think about
it's almost like they're using. Yeah, it's almost like they're using Ireland as a bit of a testing country for quite a few things at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I speak to Shakti a lot, and we did a podcast with her on Tuesday night.
No, we didn't do a podcast, mate. We did an emergency announcement.
Emergency broadcast. Yeah. It's definitely fair to say that the Irish were hit a lot harder than we were.
Mate, shout out to my mate Tom. He's been staying with me the last couple of days. He's from New Zealand, and those guys got fucked in the ass by the COVID union.
Really?
Yeah, like well hard. Same as Australia, places like Victoria.
It's funny that you have all these islands.
Horseface Jacinda, she really fucking went to town on the peasants of New Zealand.
They're all islands out there on their own as well. I don't think that's a coincidence that they target these places where they're just on.
Yeah, but again, I'd like you suggested Ireland was a testing ground. I'd say that New Zealand and Australia were as well.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is they're all islands on their own, aren't they? They're not surrounded by any of the land masses. That's what I mean.
I mean, let's be honest. If the COVID union wanted to swarm on a country, like, what the fuck are they going to do about it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But I mean,
Lance, I've got a question around that. Why, like with all these countries around that have had testing various different things like Ireland and Australia and New Zealand, surely at some point it'll probably be our turn to have some sort of project. They're kind of waiting about, aren't they? Before they test things like that on us.
Well, no, they're turning it on and off. Do you know what I mean? Again, it's a standard cult technique. You turn it up, give it to you 100 miles an hour, full steam ahead. Then they turn it down a bit, make you get into a full sense of security. Then they'll turn it up again, and that's how it goes.
I think Jamie, we'd sort of postulated on the show before, even maybe back in 2021, that the likelihood is because of our unique position here, living on the same island as the city of London, which is is the head of the serpent. It's the head of the serpent financially, and operational wise, we have a unique position, I think. And the way that it was basically put before is that if they went full Soviet Union here, and it failed, and there was a successful kickback, which I believe, if we were fully activated, could be more likely than any other country with the way that English people have been in history.
However, we haven't got any weapons.
Yeah, we don't have any weapons. But if it failed here, then it would be a very bad thing. So it's obviously about testing, about putting out feelers, testing that, we've been talking about the different countries that had different levels of this. I think that the likelihood is, because of our unique position, we would probably always be last once it had been successful everywhere else, which is obviously quite a good position for us to be in if we live here, I guess. If that's true.
If you're in a satanic mindset and just care about yourself.
Well, or if you were in the mindset,
I'm only fucking with you.
Or let me finish. Or if you're in the mindset of still wanting to be able to do something and speak out against it and mobilise, it would be best to still be living in the country that we've.
Do you remember there was that video going around social media of the Ukrainian woman where she was asked by some media company, in an interview, like, who's to blame for it? And she said Ukraine started the war, not Russia.
Yeah.
And she had the fucking Soviet Union straight knocking on her door. Like some middle-aged woman who just said something like, we're not at that level of censorship yet, but it's coming.
Let's not forget, Ukraine is the first European country to have the digital ID and the CBDC, which is they basically implementing that. Because like in Nigeria, they've already got it, and there's piles of money on the street that nobody wants. That's already happened.
Because it's worthless.
Yeah.
So I always thought it was odd that every European country got into the euro except for England. We kept our pound. I always thought that was odd, and I don't know what it means, but I always thought it meant something.
It's kind of the reason why I saw Brexit as a good thing.
Well, also a planned thing. Well, more than anything, it was planned because we never got the euro.
But don't forget as well. Again, it's like they're going to kill more than two birds with one stone, because that's a divisional tactic as well. It splits the whole country in half, like whether you're with the EU or without. Fuck me. I spoke to people who they're so retarded they think we've actually left Europe. Like, I said, what? Has England and like the UK just geographically picked itself up and fucking walked out into the ocean?
I know, it was insane.
Like moved away from Europe. Like, we're still in Europe. Like, we're just not part of the EU.
I remember being in.
I work in kitchens and people are going, I'm gonna have to leave now because we're out of the EU. I'm like, but then how can an African or an Asian person work here? No one's kicking you out, you novice. You know what I mean? You made it into such a hoo-ha that everyone would go, oh God, it's all going to crumble. But
I remember
there's been immigration into England forever. African, Asian, all different cultures have worked here.
Since time memorial.
All that's really happened is they put the price of Evian water up. Like since we left the EU. That's essentially what's happened.
I post things abroad, right? And what they've done is, it's now, there's more paperwork to post something to Europe than there is to post it to America. That's what they've done. They've just made it into like difficult, loads of things to sign and numbers to get that don't mean anything. It's harder to post to France than it is to America.
See, this is another contradictory piece of bullshit from the Soviet Union about the global climate warming change. Because you think about the travelling distance for your package, whatever you're sending, to go to Europe from England as opposed to America. Now, if we were in a global climate warming change like crisis, they wouldn't be doing that shit, would they?
Yes! Inspector Veg is in the studio, bruv.
Reality.
Sounding Chris. Let us know how we're sounding. Give us some hashtags or something.
Reality.
That was a mad thing, the master. When that happened, I can't believe everyone didn't talk out about that.
Well, some of us did, mate. Some of us talked about it.
Yeah.
Boom. One tune down. Right. What's next?
Check.
Big up Rise and Shine.
This one, non-compliance. Big up True Hippie. Check. Yo, if you think that you're high risk, get healthy, don't buy shit. Don't be scared of a cough and a little bit of spit, cause it's not legit. I didn't really care about the testing kit. I don't know why they're still getting tested for it. Living in fear in the houses with disinfectant, wiping down all the surfaces. Practicing social distancing, cause they can't see where the real Mercus is. Figured out the way they're gonna stay alive if they're washing their hands every 15 minutes. So deep in it, they ain't never gonna see where the sin is. Psychologically subdued, watching the news, they don't wanna die hard. Bruce Willis, yo, mass non-compliance. The lockdowns ain't backed by science. We come to bring that truth, show them proof that we are the giants. Mass non-compliance, the lockdowns ain't backed by science. We come to bring that truth, show them proof that we are the giants. They want me tracing tracks, cut you out without an iPhone app. Follow the rules or you'll all get sacked. Just like sheep with the wolves in a pack. Cooling but still calling for tax. I can't wait for the walls to collapse. I ain't gonna sit back and wait for the vax. And I still can't drink water from the tap. Them man, they want arms. They must think that we're born in barns. Try to finesse, but they ain't got a chance. Push bare fear cause they wanna advance. Say they wanna keep us alive, but didn't mention the electric plants. Now we can't go to the club and dance. A little while back, man, the media were blaming Qurans. Mass non-compliance, the lockdowns ain't backed by science. We come to bring that truth, show them proof that we are the giants. Mass non-compliance, the lockdowns ain't backed by science. We come to bring that truth, show them proof that we ain't So don't ask me why I'm not wearing a mask. You get air, you get air. So don't ask me why I'm not wearing a mask. You get air, you get air. So don't ask me why I'm not wearing a mask. You get air, you get air. Cause the government keeps talking shit about COVID and new strains, but we're not scared.
Yes, it's Friday night, it's Rise Above. Inspector Veg is live in the studio. We are sounding crisp. Big up everybody tuned in. Eye for an eye. Clarice Starling, I see ya. Sovereign Jane, I see ya. It's Rise Above. Omar Beats. Veg is sounding on point tonight. Big up everybody in the studio. Shout to Andy PG. Shout to Bartender. Gosh. Boom.
Trample on the evil intention.
Oh. Yeah, just a little preview there. All right, the third one. Inspector Veg. One more, please.
Trample on the evil intentions like. Trample on the evil intentions like. Trample on the evil intentions like. Every time I look around, all I see is fear and lies, and the truth doesn't get mentioned like.
3 strikes, parasites can get pushed to the side. Claim that they add value to our lives, but their lives will serve. I serve the sauce when I ride. Breathing full when I vibrate high. Non-physical what, so I can't die. See the truth now, so I can't let slide. Live for God, don't money, so I can't get bribes. And I won't subscribe. No television, so I don't pay Sky. Spit flows to the ticks on your clothes, get old and dry, then we go inside. No 9, no minor when the third eye pops and they both go blind. And fall back from the token scheme to the intelligent design. It's our time.
Trample on the evil intentions like.
Yo.
Trample on the evil intentions like. Trample
and then
on
they
the
tried to,
evil
remember when they tried to say
intentions
it's only
like.
gatherings of 6 people? I said, I like gatherings more than 6. Yeah, I'll take the risk. Cause they're taking the piss when I eat out, they want my name on the list. Speak out cause I came to assist, not scared, still shake hands and bomb the fist. If we carry on following the government guidelines, trust me, this ain't gonna end with we're at war with the government, so stop loving them, get out of sheep mode and be bold. Even when there ain't no vitamin D and it all gets peak and the streets get cold. Something like an ice cream cone, who knows, man, you might need to bust up a drone. We ain't gonna sit back and take all that crap cause we're coming from the front like.
Trample on the evil intentions like. Trample on the evil intentions
And then I went to the shop, tried to pay with the cash, and they wouldn't let me pay with the cash. So this is what I said. I only use cash, not card. I won't wear the mask on trains and buses. The supermarket ain't super. I won't stand in the queue cause that's where the sugar and pus is. They wanna keep us dehydrated, sedated, they're turning us all into druggies. I said the media, they're full of shit like I can't see you smart with a mask on. Some people are just too far gone. We need to all rise up like a hard on. Got a few tracks that I need to put bars on. Got a few tracks that need to get laced. I don't need to be tracked and traced. I come here to put the facts in your face. There's a whole lot of truth we can all embrace.
Trample on the evil
Holy shit.
intentions like. Trample on the evil intentions like. Trample on the evil intentions like. Every time I look around, all I see is fear and lies, and the truth doesn't get mentioned like.
Whoa. What just happened? Inspector Veggie just killed it. Big shout out to everyone tuned in. Now it's time for me to step up to the pace. It's Friday night. This is Rise Above. How's everyone doing? Yo.
Corona the crown of your highness. Corona the crown of your highness. Or the molecule inside your sinus. Corona the crown of your highness. Or the molecule inside your sinus. This ain't Wuhan bronchitis. It's the got some medical mafia virus. 3 million came from Obama. Dr. Fauci through Big Pharma. Move it to Wuhan, ring the alarm. It's our virus, bruv, that's karma. And Bill Gates made a prediction. Event 201 is not a fiction. 66 million people die of corona affliction. Let me spit some vocal wisdom. Nothing social but a social distance. Their minds get locked in a mental prison. I hope their sentence lessons. They program fear. I shine the torch of the program here. 2030's 8 more years. Yo, it's 7 more years. Yo, they wrote the agenda. One world in the blender. Double L's real, bruv. And I'm not a pretender. It's double L. Back to back with Inspector Veg. What you saying, Veg? Turn it.
Yo, the food is fake, the medicine's fake, the education system is fake. They want you fighting with the thoughts in your head all day long so you never get a break. They don't want you meditating in the sunshine with big fruit sitting by the lake. They want you dumb down so you listen to Drake. They want the teenagers to all sell flake. They ain't gonna give, they're always gonna take. They want you in as this buying a steak. They ain't gonna share one slice of the cake. They ain't even gonna follow the rules they make. They ain't even gonna follow the rules they bring on the one for you better know that I'm a king. They killed the indigenous and made us all prisoners, and that's the real reason I do my thing. Like beat the matrix, defeat the matrix. Stand up, don't take a seat in the matrix. You gotta watch while you're eating the matrix. Can't touch, process meat in the matrix. Life ain't fair in the matrix. Drink booze if you're there in the matrix. You gotta learn self-care in the matrix. Always gonna need Tupperware. Yo, come to your party. Empty headlight, ramming on my harshy. I'm pulling that parsley. Rolling with the electric army. Babylon sending the whole world balmy. Don't want Gucci, don't want Versace. Man, I gotta go deep, get to Samadhi. Meditate every day and do Pilates. So don't offer me K on your car keys. I don't need a watch, I'm the watcher. I don't drink coffee in Costa. It's just right here, I never lost her. So you won't see me stepping on a Foster. I don't need a watch when I'm watching. I got powers like Austin. God's right here, I never lost it. Merge with the one, I don't care what it's costing. Like, I represent strength. Real power ain't about what you bench.
Holy shit, Inspector Veg. Yo, I said this is a system test. Adjust your parameters. Corrupt and scandalous, life is crude and amorous. Are you a victim? Yeah. Cameras flash, they dazzle us. You can't predict the threat of a flow so deep and cavernous, deep and hazardous, with incredible length and wide diameters. I'm not your average maverick. Lock your 16s, leave them staggering like a sick dream in the mind of a sick team. When Fred come a dagger in, I spray like whipped cream in the face of a clown for imagining. You can never come a challenging, I'll leave you spinning in my slipstream. It's not happening. This is a system test, no routine system check. Keep your eyes on the screen, it's all lies on the screen. Look for the lies in between. Inside the Dungeon with Oma Beats. 2018. Double L, why so serious? Once again, yo. Educated and articulate, well stated, particular. But if I wanna turn it up, bars hit hard like a barbiturates. Knock out, pure petulance. Shock out, kill your restlessness. Every single word in a syllable, that's my final will in a testament. MCs chat about whips and cars. Me about bars, about pyramids on Mars. Other weird subjects, hidden for years, locked in casks. Strap your protective mask, inform your collective that war is star. It's a harrowing task and I'm swimming in fears on a narrowing path, I'm powering past. These bullshit rappers, I'll devour them last. And they're carrying fast, drop from the top of a towering shaft. Push from the ledge of a soaring peak, shook from the pledge of a war and speak. Close to the edge, the outlook's bleak. Frozen breath, cause the output's weak. Poison dart, straight to the heart, mate. And now a sound boy never wanna partake. It's not a game, in no arcade. I shoot like a cupid, I'm causing them heartache. Cry me a river, it's your last day. I was a sinner, that's in the past, mate. We never talk no more. What's going on that you never wanna parlay? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. No one mentioned, no one named. And I move on the track like a high-speed train. Never derailed by leaf nor rain. Relentless on a long campaign. Darts of fire with a pinpoint aim. My MET, HOD of delivery to bring you the pain. Blood drips, congealed on the dirt. Forms red blood, are you feeling the hurt when the carnage occurs? We let the demons speak and then hang on his words. Mesmerized by the evil inside, hypnotizing all people alive, energizing the feeble demise. Life in the dungeon's extremely deprived, and it's dark in this dungeon. And right at every corner the evil's abundant, hope is redundant. These treacherous beings spread the dysfunction, they feed on your soul. For their lunch and get pleaded with gold or prepare for consumption. It's the ravenous huntsman, right arm hold your carcass triumphant. Right arm hold your carcass triumphant. Yo, Oma Beats, Double L. You know you gotta ask questions, yeah? Live inside the studio, it's a booth thing. Yo, I ask questions that are the deepest. What is a religious extremist? A terrorist with a Wahhabi thesis or pedo priest? Praying to Jesus, a rabbi, circumcising a penis, gesturing God, acting fiendish, lecturing mums about who the cleaners are claiming we're equal but acting elitist. Listen up, there's lies in this sermon. Why's that? Your vicar is vermin. Hypocrites ain't hard to determine. You gotta rise up and be wise like a serpent. Beware the Slavian serpents who prey on the weak, peddling burden. Dissidents are destined for burning. Indoctrination is different to learning. You know the fables are coded, demons and angels, the meanings eroded. Reasons moaned by those who devoted, revised, rewrote and promoted. Years past, scriptures unfolded. The names changed but never the motive. Translated, wildly misquoted. Sugar-coated, violent, corrosive notions. Charged with bitter emotions, boarded ships and sailed across oceans. Holy books gone bad, their explosions, hiding the text like Trojans. Insidious lines were spoken, indigenous minds were broken. Many tread the path of the chosen, and they step with the hoof of the cloven. No half-baked bars in this booth. Oma Beats Double L 2018. They're like Double L, why so serious?
I think that big disclosure thing that we've talked about that will probably cause the Great Reset is probably already started.
Yeah, no, for sure. Or they're about to introduce, I don't know, the next level of Brittany. You know,
well, maybe for double mockery, they'll start to unleash the truth about what happened last time, while they just do it again, but twice as hard.
Oh, they've never
Could it
done
be?
that
Could it be that they? I got thinking this today. Could it be that literally trying to cause a riot? Like they.
Yeah, unsettled level, and I think that's potentially one of the gains they might get out of this.
They're gonna admit it, and you know, and I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think that's part of the Dark Enlightenment is to tell everyone what happened. Yeah,
is that why Matt Wan Cockroach is in there eating?
But imagine this world. Imagine this world fight where they actually admit that it's caused damage and it's done this and this and this, but it wasn't our fault because of this and this and this, and no one really gets taken to. No one really gets dragged through the bushes for it. And it just continues.
That.
And
the thing is that when they go on.
No, we're going to say people what actually they'll be Wancock's all right. It's all right.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Chris. That was what I was going to say.
I think they're already doing that. I mean, I've seen these screenshots on Twitter of people, like especially women, fawning over Hancock. Oh, he's really not that bad. He's got a heart. We've seen the nice side of him. And she's like, yeah, successful sale.
We just did a podcast, and I heard it. I was in the kitchen. I was working in the kitchen, and I heard two guys who I like a lot. By the way, I'm not slagging anyone off, but I heard one of them say to the other one, "I was ready to hate him, but he's actually all right." Isn't he? I mean, obviously they don't include me in that conversation, and I was, I thought, you know what, none of my business. But that was literally the line. I was ready to hate him, but he's actually he's not that bad. He's just a guy, innit? He's all right. He's a nice geezer.
Of course, it's all part of the mockery and part of the
balance. It's all balance.
But it's achieved it. Goal achieved.
It's plan achieved. Yeah, mission achieved. Mission accomplished. They've now got him. For people falling over, thinking he's a sex symbol, and blokes in the kitchen saying what a nice guy he is.
What is your average normal working guys?
Do you know what I think this could be? Right? Think of it like this. Now, a lot of people are very scared to speak out their opinion for fear of standing away from the crowd and being like on their own. It's quite.
What do you mean, like us lot?
Like us lot.
So
Lancers like that.
To the NPCs,
well, I always feel a bit shy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But you know what I'm saying. These people, I suppose the NPCs of the world, they're just following the herd, aren't they? Because it's scary when you stand out on your own, I suppose, for some people.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why we started doing this, is to provide the lifeline for everyone and show, that you're not on your own.
No, but folks like us, whatever's happened to us in our lifetimes, right? We don't give a fuck if we stand out. I don't care. I know Dom does, and I'm sure you two guys don't.
I did it on purpose.
Whatever's happened in our existences, we've all got to a point where we're like, I don't give a shit. We don't.
It's strange, though, isn't it? Because I mean, I know you've spoken about this before, Lance, but you don't care and you're willing to say it. But it's not like you want any sort of fame with it. You know what I mean? You're not searching for that. I bet in your life as a rapper and all that kind of stuff, you did chase that. I know when I was in business, I chased all this line, but this is different. This is real. They don't want really the notoriety. You just want
the only
get
thing
a
you want
message
is to get through to people and to see a change.
Yeah, that's the important part of this. It's
if you just wanted notoriety and nothing else, then you wouldn't do this, because when I was doing before, I didn't have people coming after me and making up lies against me and campaigns and stuff like that, and I didn't get myself in any trouble with the law.
When you learn about this stuff, it changes your mindset a little bit. I think it also makes you, you realise that paperwork that everyone passes around is the value of everything. The bank's product, is more important.
Well, somebody I know is going through the early stages of waking up, and they said to me, "I don't really." It's like they're confused because they've seen that the whole thing's a sham. Obviously, been talking to me as well, but they're ready. People are ready to do it. It's not like you can't convince people to do what we do. Or not. I don't mean talk like this. I'm on about waking up and realizing that it's all a sham, and you can see that they feel let down. And I know watching one of Mark Devlin's interviews the other day with a guy, I think he's a psychologist, who said it's like a bereavement. When you find out that everything you thought was real is not real, it is like a bereavement. And that is what it's like, isn't it?
The thing is I think it's a really important process, that is, for people to become like disillusioned and then gutted,
Yeah.
Because if you go the other way of just like not caring, then we're fucked.
Yeah.
Because then no matter what they do, if you're going to be complacent about the matter, then it's never going to get better. And I think by passing it off with a simple comment, like, oh, it's the way they've always done it.
What are you going to do?
Bullshit. Yeah, exactly.
What can I do about it?
Yeah.
That's what I've always, I was thinking about this earlier on, because that's the first thing you're battled with is, I'm small. How could I make a change?
It's the overwhelmingness of it.
Yeah, and
you don't actually have to do anything. Just fucking be aware. That's what you have to do. Like say no now. But
it's about spreading our ideas.
Before the COVID, when me and my brother were wagging on at people, it wasn't even wake up. It's just be aware that you're being lied to. At least be aware of it.
Just pay attention.
Then you're in control of a situation, at least. And then COVID happened, and that's when you needed to be aware. So you were in control of the situation.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have become very aware because of this latest little thing that's happened. But it's like the great disclosure. I think you're right on the nail with that, Lance.
Yeah, the dark enlightenment.
Yeah.
And and it started. I see it everywhere I look now. It's definitely started. The official counterbalance to what's going on has already started. You're allowed to question it. I'm seeing it not just in the alternative media, but now in the mainstream media. It's creeping in. It's now acceptable to have a voice there, questioning everything they did. They're starting to deliberately unravel their own plan in front of us. Say, "Oh yeah, look, all of these bad things have happened actually because of what we did."
Or maybe this is their admission, so they can pass. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe.
Well, I think we've already postulated that it could cause the Great Reset, the ultimate loss in trust for every institution that all the normosphere has put all of their previous trust in. This could be the grand unveiling that could finally shatter it.
This is Jane Rutherford says in Coronation Street, the conspiracy theorist character is being portrayed as an extreme racist.
Yeah.
Right. They've got him in Coronation Street now, have they?
Yeah, well, that was what I took out of it as well. As a fucking an actual conspiracy theorist in
when it's in Coronation Street, you're they
made it.
Definitely worried about the masses, aren't they? When they're putting Coronation Street.
Well, imagine if they based it on you boys as well. That'd be fucking brilliant.
The thing is, the people that are leading this shit show are terrified of little old us, aren't they? Because we're really the swing, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're the counterbalance of their plans. We can really fuck everything up.
Oh yeah, there's a term for this as well. Hang on, what are they called when you break away? It's like a menacing group of breakaway people.
It's an insurgency.
Yeah, I was thinking insurgents, but it's not insurgency because we've not been put here. We are, or maybe we have by the algorithm, I suppose.
Well, I suppose we are the resistance, aren't we?
That's the word. Thank you, resistance.
Yeah, all right, okay. We're the pushback, aren't we? We are the only people watching this and listening to this, and other people doing podcasts. We are the resistance. We are the last ones.
But look at mine. Right, so I've called myself Omer Beats. Apart from my son being Homer, Ohm is electrical resistance, and A is the fellow anarchy. You know, so you have like electrical resistance, like basically the anarchy against the fucking AI.
Yeah. I tell you, Chris, we've got shit names, haven't we? These guys have got well thought out, cool names. Yeah, I've got Karamak because I'm a light shade of brown.
and the man from Del Monte over here.
Yeah.
I've got to say that was the best thing when you two rocked up at Raw Treat. It was like he got out of the car and it was like an A-list truther movement.
Me and turned around and looked at it. Oh, fucking hell, it's a sheep farm.
It was like sheep farm in the house. Everyone talking about it. I was like, is that sheep farm? It's like, whoa, that's sheep farm. Dom gets out like Muscle Man Sports Tactical, and then the man from Del Monte gets out the bespoke leather little backpack, and I was like, these guys are stylish, man.
You need to tell a story one day.
No, it was a special moment.
Yeah, we loved it.
We were great.
The week before, I'd been to see Mark Devlin talking Leeds, and not Leeds, Bradford, and I went in, Aton sat at back, and I didn't think anything of it. I just didn't know anybody there. And slowly but surely, people found the way to say, "Are you such and such?" Yeah. And I'm thinking, it's a bit weird. This, how do all these people know me? You know, I'm thinking, how do these people know me? Mr. Naive, you know. Yeah, it took me about half an hour to go to the toilet in this working men's club.
What's really weird, right, is when we first started up, I was in the town centre of where I live. And I couldn't find my fucking money, and someone recognised me and bought my fucking noodles for lunch. That was my work get up and everything. There's quality. So if they're watching, thank you very much for that, man. I spent a nice little half an hour with me anyway.
The thing is, because of YouTube, you'll never know how many people. Because
I think at the time, it must have been. We must have had about a few hundred subscribers, and like people, it was very local. I'd say.
Yeah. The thing is, you don't really know because the only people in the comment section are the people that are choosing to be in there and who have their own profiles. If you don't have your own, those are people who can watch and don't have your own profile. So yeah. It's like we found out RKX was watching last week, and he's like, oh yeah, he watches Rise Above, so it was him that instigated coming on the show.
Bought a t-shirt.
He bought a t-shirt.
Oh, one of my best ones.
Not from us.
One of my best ones, guys. By the way, I forgot to mention this. My friends went to see a herb dealer, and he said he got talking. One of my mates, he's fully jib-jab, but he went to see his herb dealer, and he said, his mate were talking exactly how I talk, and he said, "Oh, you might be interested in listening to one of my friends. He's got a podcast." And he went, "Sheep farm." He goes, "Well, those two northern guys." So his weed dealer in London basically was listening to us.
Quality,
nice. Well, Bartender went to get a set at this club around here. It's basically the big club, and it's like Normie Central, big commercial club, and he's like, yeah, I want to have a set. And what was it? One of the girls working as like...
Yeah, one of the bar staff actually recognised me from Rise Above, and also recognised me from Raw Treat, which was really weird because I'm not...
Because I didn't remember her.
No, it's weird how it's all come together. Like I only met Lance the first time ever at Raw Retreat, and it was the funniest thing ever. So I was up in the bar with Joe, obviously dealing out drinks, doing everything I could do, and I see Lance walking up with a GoPro, and in my
doing your job, you mean?
Yeah, doing my job, obviously.
Yeah.
But
don't believe me? Don't believe me? Don't believe me? Go study history. Go study history. Politicians, professors and scientists, controlled by some rioters. Through 2 world wars they've been trying it. Corporate investment, no matter who the finalists. Don't believe me? Go study history. Check the activity of bloodline dynasty. Sumer, Egypt and Rome, consistently pan-European imperial misery. World conflicts enact social change, so they want it. But we must abstain, acquiesce, and you're in for a world of pain. A workhouse where you dream of a minimum wage. That's the plan, but it's closer than you think. We'd be there now if it wasn't for the cosmic shift. They're panicking, the game is up. It's all illusion, the only truth is love. Don't believe me? Don't believe me? This goes deep cause they rewrote the history books. You can't quote how the real history looks. Empires thrive from the lands they took. We're in the same boat, it's kept afloat by crooks. Been the same way for more than 1,000 years. There's no love here, all you're allowed is fear. Break through the clouds so the sky is clear. Satanic whispers hidden in the sounds of prayers. Dark suits, cold hearts, no empathy. Fill positions of power in our embassy. Stone circles and burning effigies. Chanting mantras to bring forth energies. Secret meetings that map out our destinies. Hooded figures, manifest entities. Pollute our minds so we got no memory. For centuries helplessly trapped by the treachery. Don't believe me? Obelisks and illuminated torches. Landmarks of malevolent forces. Sorcerers aim to contain your mind state. Open your eyes where you're already blind, mate. You want the truth, better ask and why. Your worldview got squeezed through a needle's eye, and here's the proof. They extinguish lives. Conflicts built on evil lies, no surprise. We don't know of no agenda. Disguised from the light from the moment you enter. Survival of flight, you're a lifelong member. That's right, since they sliced the placenta. Now, welcome to the slave race. Very few will ever find out how the game's played. Unless you wake up, keep on playing it. They look at me and think, why is he saying it? Don't believe me? Don't believe me? Don't believe me? Go study. Don't believe me? Go study history. Go study history.
Jen, welcome to Rise Above.
Hello.
Get proper close to the mic, almost so it's touching your lips.
Okay, I won't go too close, but that's all right there.
So, give us a little quick overview about what you're going to be talking about tonight.
What I'm going to talk about tonight, this is a presentation that I have done a few times now about the £20 note, but it's not just about the £20 note, it's about symbology on the £20 note.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about.
Okay, so it's on the money.
Yeah, but I'll first introduce why I was interested in this topic. So I studied marketing at university. I kind of had a bit of an awakening in my third year and then refused to want to go back to do it. But I did finish a degree because all the subliminals and the symbology. And that's why I've got an interest and a background in this kind of thing. I remember speaking to my university lecturer about the satanic worship and ritual abuse stuff back at uni and the Masonic stuff and all that. And yeah, so I find symbols really interesting. And from there, I've gone into like study kind of occultism and magic and other things. And yeah, so tonight we're just going to talk about the £20 note and why it was the symbols that are on this £20 note and why they are relevant to what is going on now, currently in the Coviet. I need some
code words.
Code words.
Yeah, the Coviet Union. You can say pentojizzle, or wireless pentagram is another one we like. When you're talking about, I think you're going to talk about what's on the note, aren't you?
Yeah.
That tower.
Pentagram? Is that
wireless pentagram.
Okay.
These are our official code words for that that technology which you're talking about.
Yeah, that would do. Wireless pentagram and what was it? Pentojizzle.
Pentojizzle, yeah.
Pentojizzle. Okay, cool. I have got a £20 note with me, but I don't think we really need it.
If you want to show it up, let me know, and I'll put your camera up here if you want to take a closer look at the note together.
How do we go through the slides then?
Right. Okay. One sec. This one.
Mate, this is really comfy over the
You
back.
just
No
tell
wonder
me.
Magic
You just
falls
tell me.
asleep over it.
Yeah, it's a really comfy. Do you want the next slide, Jen?
Yeah, next
Okay,
slide.
all right, you tell me, I'll do it.
Yeah, okay. And you can go next anyway, because it's following. It's a saying, isn't it? It's on the money. And that means usually something's right. But anyway, we're going back to the origins of money. So the Temple of Juno, it is the etymology of the word.
It's a bit closer.
Oh,
there you go. That's better.
yeah, the big. Yeah, the word money is believed to originate from a temple of Juno, one of Rome's 7 hills. So in the ancient world, Juno was often associated with money. That also comes from the goddess Uni, which means the one. And this is what Andy said earlier. So like money actually means one. A little bit of history.
One eye.
One eye.
One eye, yeah. Mono, which is one. And in green language, EY is as EY.
Yeah.
One eye.
But I like to see it as, if we go through the slides in a minute, there's another way I like to see it. But the term fiat derives from the Latin word fiat, meaning let it be done. We know this. But if you go to the next slide. So this £20 note, interestingly, was first issued, it's changed from paper to plastic, to polymer, which is symbolic in itself anyway, because it's coming from something that is natural to something that is not synthetic and not natural. So you've got to remember that symbology there of paper to plastic. But the interesting date of when they released this new synthetic version of this £20 note was that it was on the 20th of February 2020.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so when you break down, obviously, the numerology with it, you've got all the 2s in there. So if you go to the next slide. Just interesting, just to drop this one in there with the... Everyone knows numerology, don't we? Like the master numbers and everything. But I just like to drop this one in that 1984 equals 22 as well. Just on a side note. Next slide.
Just coincidentally.
Yeah. But I like to look at currency as well, just to drop this in while we're talking about it, is like the currency. Because obviously everything with the maritime law, we're all lost at sea. And also, what is the biggest pollutant in the ocean?
Masks.
I guess before Mars it was plastic, right?
Yeah. So again, we've got this plastic polymer, coming in. Think of the symbology with it. Next slide.
It's a nice little bit of mockery in there, isn't it? Like the currency is now the major pollutant in the sea.
Yeah.
I like that. The major current pollutant in the sea. Quality.
Right. So this is when they announced it. This new note on the official news story. So as you can see, he's holding his hand up to the, doing the left eye thing or whatever. So this is when they announced it anyway. And it's J.M.W. Turner that's on the actual note, which is an artist. If you go to the next slide. So also what I noticed with this note, when we're looking at it, you've got the 8 pillars around that symbol at the top.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
6. Yeah.
So you've got the 8 pillars. And most people notice anyway this tower, but we'll go into that in a minute. Guy on the back here is J.M.W. Turner. There's not loads to be said about him. Not loads to be said about him. He's an artist. Light is therefore colour.
What have we got in the background there? Like a paddle steamer. Is that a paddle steamer in front of like an old wooden sailboat?
They kind of put boats and maritime stuff on it because this is actually a lighthouse. What the official thing is.
Do you think that's a paddle steamer? Do you think it's towing the wooden sailboat behind to could that be maybe symbolising the Industrial Revolution? Because it looks like almost the boat behind it is like derelict, but then the paddle steamer is towing it to me. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. Okay. Another interesting one. But,
it's bound to be multi-layered, isn't it?
Oh, there's so much on it. Yeah, on this note. So when you go to the next slide, what this actually is on here. I mean, I know what it looks like to me, but the official story is of this lighthouse. That it is the lighthouse at Margate.
What's so special about that lighthouse that is on the note, though?
the lighthouse at Margate, what's special about it is it was destroyed in the Great Storm of 1953. But that's what they've put on there.
But the lighthouse at Margate doesn't have like, what are these blue things behind it?
Yeah.
They look like huge, big, like microchip processors or something.
Well, to me, it's a pentadiddle tower.
Wireless pentagram tower, yeah.
Yeah. Because I also look at it as above, so below. And we drew out that 8 earlier, or I did on the slide, because above it you've got the crown and the virus symbol.
Yep.
Yeah. So you've got as above, so below. The
crown
helmet,
virus.
Yeah. So I do think
the virus of your highness,
not the molecule inside your sinus. So it's quite interesting, right? Because if we just break this down, let's have a look at this really carefully. So we've potentially got this wireless pentagram tower here. We've got the Miley Cyrus above it, but then we've also got the person wearing the crown, like to the right, like looking at it, like
and there's a crown on the other side as well.
Oh my!
On the front is a crown, above it it's a corona.
Yeah. This really is the crown virus, isn't it?
Yeah, but as above, so below, in plain sight, and then subversive is what I'd say. So like the tower being subversive, and then above in plain sight. So what it appears as, but what is working.
It sort of reminds me of like, is it what the Tower of Sauron in Harry Potter as well?
I first looked at that tower and thought it was the tower in London, this 1666 one, the Great Fire.
Right, okay.
Tower. That's what I immediately thought it was. But is it just, again, it's just a tower, isn't it? A symbol.
It does seem like, okay, so what, this tower, this lighthouse was destroyed in a great... I'd never personally heard of the Great Storm of 1953 before you just mentioned it. But
Great Storm. This is Margate Lighthouse. Yeah.
But it's like, that seems like a pretty lame cover story to me. It's like, why would that particular lighthouse in Margate be so important for it to go on the £20 note? Do you know what I mean, PG?
Well, same as the artist who's on the front. I mean, who the fuck is that anyway?
JMW Turner.
Yeah, I mean...
I've heard of Turner. Yeah. I've heard of Turner. He's pretty famous, but like... I don't know, what's so famous?
Is he worthy of going on the $20 bill?
£20 note?
Sorry, £20 note.
You Americanised bastard. No, but that's debatable. But for me, what is the significance of a Margate lighthouse? It's just like, that's a stretch.
Well, wait until we get to some of the other stuff in a minute, because you'll find it funny.
All right.
Right, go to the next slide.
Okay, so here we are
This is
at
what it
the
is.
famous seaside resort of Margate. Yeah,
Yeah, this is what it is meant to be. Right, next slide.
Looks like a shithole, man.
Yeah, so this is such an important landmark. We just had to put this on the £20 note.
But I think the Great Storm thing is something. So anyway, lighthouses, they used to be built in the most dangerous waters. But they symbolise the perils of individuation, a constant danger of being swallowed by the unconscious forces beyond our control. I just like that little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you go to the next slide. Little history, yes, that is about Margate. This is the lighthouse they have chosen to put on the £20 note. But I just thought, because it is the Great Storm, I think that is the thing that they have picked it for.
So look, in 1955, the current octagonal concrete tower was built, topped by a copper lantern housing a single fixed red LED. Like all of the effort and like maintenance of that amazing lighthouse before, the huge lamp, the lighthouseman, his family, his lifelong like sort of like drive to like look after that lighthouse now is just replaced with a single fixed red LED. Wow. Some sort of poetic brilliance in that, I think.
Yeah, but anyway, the storm is coming. So that's what it goes down to. But what does a storm signify? Like, because spiritually it always means storm is coming, isn't it? You know, the apocalypse.
Donald Trump.
End of it.
Yeah, drain the swamp, there's a storm coming. Whoa.
Yeah. But, and the next slide, I have to do a little bit of Mark Devlin here. I always go into the music world.
That's right, we like a bit of Mark Devlin. You know, this is Rise Above.
So what musicians do you first think of when you think of the lighthouses?
Lighthouse Family.
Right, go on.
Okay, that was it.
So I thought that as well. So I thought, I'll have a little look at the Lighthouse Family, see what they've been up to. Right, so go next slide. So they've, interestingly, if you look at their record label, they're on Wildcard. Now suddenly they're on Polydor. Right, so you got to remember the notes changed to polymer. I know it's a bit out there, this one, but I thought, oh, look at their latest album and look at some of the song titles.
We're going deep into the coded matrix here. Like.
Yeah, I know, but Blue Sky on Your Head, I was like, that's a bit of a weird album name, isn't it? You know, it's a bit weird. They were always happy clappy, weren't they, the Lighthouse Family?
Yeah.
Look at some of the banging tunes.
Look at some of the song titles, names on the next slide of their latest album.
Blue Sky on Your Head, The Long Goodbye. That could be like saying goodbye to Cash.
Yeah.
Who's going to save me now? Who's going to save Cash? Super 8.
The Street Lights in the Rain. I think that's an interesting one anyway. But it's interesting with the Lighthouse Family just because they've always been so happy clappy and everything. And I was like, they've gone a little bit different. But if you go to the next slide, I just thought, oh, what does blue mean? Blue sky in the head anyway. It's a bit weird, isn't it? But when you look what blue on blue means in the army, it's when basically, when they go in on themselves.
Oh, it's like friendly fire.
Yeah, yeah.
Blue on blue.
Yeah, blue on blue. But that was just a little divulge into like the music world. Anyway, nothing's to do with it really. That's just me going off on a tangent.
It's interesting to do that though. Sometimes it's nice because you can find something when you let yourself go a little bit and you think, okay, let's put the normal parameters down. You can find some interesting links that way.
I do always think stuff is in the music. Everything is put into the music world. Like I love Mark Devlin's research. It's something I looked at years ago, and I do. It's all related, military industrial complex, you know, everything is.
Yeah, when a few years ago, when I first saw people doing this kind of sort of very varied linking with all these different things and going into the entertainment like music and stuff, I was sort of like, what the hell are they doing? They're just pulling stuff out of nowhere. But then I realised, you know, if we are really in some sort of construct which lots of different people have got different ideas about, then, you know.
Do you know the power of spellcasting in the music as well? I mean, it's a massive thing, mind control.
Yeah, of course. You know, we've been following Mark Devlin's work for a while. What he's been talking about. You know, we've had other people come on to talk about this as well. How, you know, me being a musician myself and a writer, I know how powerful it is to write lyrics and have them influence people. So,
but I just thought the blue sky in the head a bit weird, isn't it? And then when you look at what blue on blue means in the army and the blue sky thing, it's when they're accidentally killed by their own army. You're just like, a little bit weird. Hopefully that doesn't happen. And hopefully Lighthouse Family release a new album and it's all good. But yeah.
We'll look forward to that.
Yeah, look forward to that. But back to the note stuff.
Okay.
On the slide.
Am I allowed to show the next slide yet?
Yeah.
Or do you want to have a look at the note? I see you holding a £20 note.
Oh, I'm holding it, yeah. But the next slide. But so Street Lights in the Rain is just a bit of a weird song title anyway. But back to the note and what we think this is on the note. What the symbol is. I think the next slide's got the note again. Oh no, we'll go into the astrology of the date because that's another interesting one.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think we've all agreed what that might be on the note.
I would say it's pretty conclusive that, let me just get it back, the picture, the close-up, of what we're looking at there. And I must say, this little screenshot you've got here, that's been illuminated perfectly. So I've like the gold base, because also that's an obelisk. And I hate to say it, this purple thing here, this is a vulva.
Yeah, phallic. Yeah, phallic.
Yeah, we have a phallus going into a vulva here.
Yeah.
But there's also all this matrix coding, and there's clearly some EMF technology radiating from this phallic symbol. This is like Lord Schwab's like butt plug or something. I don't know. But yeah, hey, it looks like some sort of digital synergy. You know, like those old church. Like the stained glass windows where there's like a phallic symbol going into like, what's it called, the vase of Pisces, and you have it, it looks like a vagina. Yeah. To me, this looks very much like that, but you've sort of got like the digital element as well.
Yeah, well, if you look in the United States, they've got anywhere where there's the states, so it's like Maryland and Virginia, they've just put obelisks fucking all over them.
Love it. Just put penis all over the place.
Yeah.
It's Cyrus's penis, isn't it? I love that shit. Okay, let's get back to where we were. So you were going to start talking...
I did go into that in the original presentation.
Listen, if you want, if we get to the end too quickly, we can jump back and go back to anything.
I did bring up a load of phallic stuff in the original stuff, but I scaled this down for tonight. But a quick look at the astrology.
You scaled down your phallic talk for tonight. I'm glad. Okay.
Scaled it down. Yeah, quick look at the astrology. So the date that the note was released, okay, this was the astrology of it. And interestingly, and what we notice is there's a Saturn-Pluto conjunction. And this was for the 20th of February 2020 when the note was released. This is the snapshot of the astrology at the time. Interesting with that is, if you go to the next slide, in history, when we've had a Saturn-Pluto conjunction before, in 1982, the Saturn-Pluto conjunction saw a reset in the financial markets. Also, this conjunction also saw the beginning of the AIDS epidemic.
Oh, wow.
And fears for its impact on humanity.
What a coincidence.
Yeah. So the Saturn-Pluto conjunction's been quite a thing when these type of things happen.
This reminds me of what Ola Wolney was saying when we had her on a few weeks back. Do you remember, Andy?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. She's great.
And she was saying that from her study of Babylonian astrology, that what was happening now was all to do with conjunctions and to do with, her interpretation of the stars anyway. But it was, there was going to be a health incident. Like there was a financial incident followed by a health incident. Yeah. They say history doesn't rhyme. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes.
Powers that be, I think, use astrology to their advantage, or their version of astrology they use to their advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was just interesting that date had the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. Because when I went into the note thing, I was just like, right, okay. I sent it out to my astrologer friend. I was like, can you just do a little one on that? So shout out to Rose Gold because she gave me the chart for that. And if we go to the next slide. Oh, here we go, an interesting one. Yeah, so in 1947, the conjunction saw the reshaping of many parts of the world, a new world order with the formation of Israel and the breaking of India and Pakistan. So again, just some more Saturn-Pluto conjunctions throughout time and when things have happened.
Oh, so this is when there was another one in 1947.
Yeah. Yeah, because I then went back and looked at all the Saturn-Pluto conjunctions.
Well, they say millionaires don't care about astrology, but billionaires do.
Yeah.
And trillionaires.
Yeah.
Trillionaires really care about it 1 million times more than the billionaires.
Yeah. So, I wanted to talk about money as energy and consent. So when we use money, and in typical basic kind of black magic, you have symbols and you consent to things. So when you're using money, I think on a subconscious level, or if we're not aware of it, we are consenting to perhaps what is on this. And it's money is seen as energy. It is a form of transaction and a way that we pay for things or services or exchange. So we've got to be more aware of when we use money. Traditionally, people would bless things to raise the vibration of something that wasn't pure. People bless their food. But then my homeopath reminded me that you can only bless, when you go to Asia, people bless their money when you buy something on the market. They go,
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is a thing about blessing everything. My homeopath reminded me you can only bless natural things. So now you can't really bless money now. It's plastic because it's.
So what you're saying is before, because money was actually made of paper, so at some stage it was organic.
Yeah.
Not like thousands of years ago when it was plankton before it became oil or whatever.
Yeah.
That was that paper was a tree.
Or it was metal, like coins. So it's still a natural substance. But now this is, plastic.
It's synthesized basically.
Synthesized. So it's,
Yeah. Well, I know firsthand how much that goes on in Southeast Asia. They have they put money out. They leave money that's been blessed for Buddha. Apparently, Buddha likes money, and they literally leave it out. I don't know who eventually takes the money. It's like the last person or whatever. But I guess the monks take it eventually. But I mean, I'd like to talk about this as well because I remember when I went on a podcast early. Actually, probably the first podcast I ever went on a long time ago. And they were trying to say how all of this that was going on was down to money. And I just laughed at them. I was like, guys, you do realise that money is actually only a representation of our human energy. They're like, what? And I was like, well, these people who own banking dynasties, money's meaningless to them because they can print infinite money.
Yeah.
In fact, they're the only people that probably know how infinitely worthless money and the fiat monetary whole system is. So what actually is it? Why is it happening? If you can print an infinite amount of money, and that's the bottom line, why would you have everyone doing this? Well, it's about harvesting energy. It always comes back to that. That plastic note that at once upon a time was supposed to be a promise that some gold somewhere existed, but now they say that even that doesn't the case. Well, that's magic. That's literally that's black magic. That's Kabbalistic black magic.
Yeah. It's symbols and exchanges of energy. Yeah. And it's a game, isn't it, really? It's a monopoly.
Well, you think how much energy is harvested from people running around trying to accumulate these meaningless, worthless notes.
I remember the first time I saw plastic notes was in Thailand in 2010, and it was Australian people that had them. The Australians were the first people to have plastic notes, I believe, or the first ones I ever saw. And I said, guys, what the fuck is this? They said, oh, it's our new money, mate. And it's like, if we go surfing, it doesn't get wet, it doesn't get soggy. And I was like, okay, is that the reason they've done it? Because you guys are constantly going surfing with money in your pocket. Anyone from down under, I know we've got some Aussies tuned in. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys have had this plastic money for a long time. Did they tell you? Did they sell this money to you on the fact that you can leave it in your pocket when you go surfing and it doesn't go soggy? Or was this guy totally mugging me off? Someone in the comment section, let me know. For you guys, it's now like Saturday morning. So yeah, wakey, get your rabbit flavoured Weetabix out, and please tell me. Big shout out to Auntie Kobe. Hello, Sheep Farm Studios. I can see you there. Okay, I've seen your next slide here. Sorry, I'm rabbit holing.
That's all right.
That's right.
That's
what we do around here.
It's all right.
The degradation of money.
Yeah, we're basically talking about that then. So going from gold to paper to plastic to nothing. You know, that's the way it's going. And then when I was doing this research on the £20 note, I always said it would be really... When the £50 note turns to plastic, then we haven't really got long left before it's gone completely.
We haven't got long left when you've got a picture of Lord Sausage Fingers the 33rd on there. Because can we talk about that? Jen, do you know anything about that? Like when the Lord King Sausage Fingers money is coming, when we're going to see Charles on the money?
I don't know. I haven't looked into that.
Because it's got to be coming, hasn't it? When are we going to see this sausage note?
I have a feeling it's going to go digital.
Wow, I would have thought that. I would have assumed we would have jumped the lexicon straight to digital, but I have heard in the mainstream media that it's going to be printed. Maybe it will be backed by CBDC or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just jump in here. They say where it's gone from gold to paper to plastic. Yeah. The original sort of bullshit about that was obviously it's to carry around a load of gold coins or silver coins is heavy. So then they moved it to notes. So it's easier to transport and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It must have been better when you had that like pouch of money on your belt though. It's like, look at my coins, peasant. Like you got a jingle. Oh, are those silver? No, these are gold coins. Look at that.
It was done for a reason and a practical reason.
Well, do you know why it was done? Also, there was a certain group of people, I hate to say it, who over time were consistently caught to be cheating the system, because when you have a coin that's actually worth its own weight in gold, so your coin, but back in the day the coins were big, so if you wanted a big gold coin, your coin would be a big bastard coin like that. Well, there's a certain group of people that thought, oh, we'll have this idea, if we chip a tiny piece off each coin and we like a little sliver, just so they won't notice.
Yeah.
And because if you have loads of coin passing through your hand, you can do that, just a little piece, and then we'll build our own coins. Coin chipping. It was the CERN technicians that were doing that. They got kicked out of a lot of countries for doing that over the years, and I think that was part of the reason why they had to go away from commodity-based currency to fiat, or at least, lo and behold, it was also LHC, the coalition that was bringing in fiat currency. So maybe it was a little bit of problem, reaction, solution. I see we have Tom from 528 Create in the green room. Hello, Tom. We'll be getting you on in just a minute. Make yourself comfortable, mate. Yeah, so...
And then it went to fractional reserve lending, and then, it's not even anything anyway. You're signing credit agreements as contracts, and the banks are making 8 times the money in your signature.
I've heard as well, I don't know how much truth, I haven't looked into this. I've heard that in China, I'm not sure if they've introduced it already or it's going to be introduced, that you're only allowed to hold a certain amount of wealth, whether it's digitally or whatever, like in your bank, for a certain amount of time. So basically, they're going to make it impossible for you to actually save.
No, what I heard was that was actually built into CBDC, especially in China, that basically it's timed. So it means that you're given a certain amount of peasant credits, whether it's for food, amenities, energy, whatever, and they're timed. So they only last for a year and they don't roll over. So yes, what you're saying is right. It means it's impossible for you to save or to accumulate or to be resourceful because your credits are all timed and they actually expire. They're like minutes on a monthly mobile phone contract. Whoa.
Just keeps you at the lower grade peasant level.
Yeah. That is crazy. China's got it figured out.
I'll tell you what, let's just welcome Tom in and say hi, because you're just finishing off. We're going to have a multi-chat tonight. Let's say hello to Tom for 528 Create. Tom, welcome to Rise Above, mate.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you great. You're a professional streamer, mate. Come on.
I'm not. This is the first time I'm doing it.
You use Zoom and all that kind of stuff. For anyone that doesn't know, Tom looks after all of our merchandise and our website. So big shout to Tom at 528 Create and 528 Crypto. In a moment, we're going to be handing over to him and he's going to be talking all about crypto and blockchain. So Jen, you've been talking about the occult side of cash and how cash has got certain elements laced into it. What are these solutions?
Solutions. In general, shielding, grounding, shungite. I did try this pentagizzle bioshield. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of these. They're the USB sticks that the BBC done this slander campaign about and said they're just USB. They're just normal USB sticks. But I actually tested it at my homeopath. The videos on my YouTube channel, and they do block out radiation.
Oh, right. So okay. So when you plug the USB into your PC or something, it actually emits something that blocks radiation?
Yeah. It's got like a nanotechnology layer on it.
Does it affect the performance of your computer?
No, it makes plants grow better around it and stuff. And it's a really interesting thing. So obviously you look at it and it looks just like a normal USB, and then the BBC come out about it and people were writing on my YouTube video, has Sasha Stone paid you in drugs to promote his shit technology or something? But and it got trolled loads and everything. But I actually tested it.
As everything does.
Yeah, I actually tested it at my homeopath. We put it on the plate on top of the mobile phone, and then we put a normal USB on, and it doesn't cancel out the radiation. It's still a really high reading, and then we put the bioshield on and it cancels it out completely. But also a copper penny does the same.
Okay, so we're actually talking about pentagizzle.
Does it really?
Pentagizzle, yeah. But so solutions to that.
Those are pentagizzle solutions. Now, you're talking about these plastic notes and the switch over from paper to plastic, from the organic to the synthetic for our physical cash.
Yeah.
Now, the latest transition that's happened has been the £50 note.
Yeah, this is the latest one that's gone to plastic. And this one's really interesting when you look at it, where it's got the tower on the other one, the lighthouse. It's actually this is a computer chip. So this one, and it's also got Alan Turing on it, the guy that first created Turing, yeah, he first created computers. Yeah, code breaker. And he was actually the guy who, they're saying, first proposed that computers could think. So the basis of artificial intelligence.
Wow. So he's like the daddy of AI.
Basically the daddy of AI.
Daddy of AI.
Yeah, the big daddy.
Yeah.
Mr. T of AI.
He's also the LGBT kind of guy as well.
What a coincidence. So he's got the rainbow as well. What a great all-rounder.
Yeah. So, and he was part of that movement as well. So it's kind of showing that. I won't go into that too much. But also what's interesting on this note, well, on the other side of it, if you hold it up to the light, there's a line through the Queen's head. It doesn't. I put a link underneath to the video that I did that shows it holding up to the light.
Okay,
But I haven't got a £50 note with me.
We'll put that in the Telegram for anyone that's interested.
Yeah, yes. If you get hold of a £50 note, just hold it up to a white screen on the computer on the front side of it, and you'll just see there's never been that on any other notes like this note. When you hold it up, it doesn't have a line through the Queen's.
Can I just say something? Earlier on, we were looking at the £20 note, and I was saying that it looks like this is a vulva, and there was a phallus going in there, and there were radio or EMF rays coming out of the phallus in the vulva, i.e. it was like penetrating it and impregnating it with some sort of technology. Well, look what's in there now. You're seeing a vulva with some sort of like microchip grid inside it, like it's basically germinating some sort of techno-schwabery, and the Queen wearing the crown is still sat there looking at it. That's what it says to me, but I'm a professional weirdo. What do I know?
Yeah. And then on the front, it's got basically that the Queen's dead, and that this is the way it's going into kind of AI and computers.
When did this note come out? Do you know?
23rd of June. There's nothing really in the date with it.
2-2.
Yeah.
236.
Yeah, there's not too much with
well,
it.
23 is 33.
Yeah, you could say 33666 if it was me. That's me.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's quite interesting.
It's always on the money. It's on the money.
It's on the money. Well, look, at the end of the day, we pass these notes across our hands every day. That in itself is a ritual. That in itself is an energy exchange, right? So, yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
So, cash.
There you go.
It's on the money. Jen, thank you very much for being our first physical female guest in the Rise Above studio.
Hi.
Yes, we've had Ola Wolney and we have Human Vibration on all the time. Everyone's always saying we've got to give the ladies a bit more of a shout. Guys, we're always up for new guests. You know where we are.
Has it been a sausage fest up until now?
Well, some people have made comments that it is a bit of a metaphysical sausage fest, yeah. So thank you very much for coming on.